Kylian Mbappe, the man with the lightning pace and the deadly finish, a natural successor to Messi and Ronaldo. Surely he doesn't have any dark secrets lurking in his closet. Turns out he has a few, so let's take a look at 10 things Kylian Mbappe wanted to keep secret. Be sure to stay until the end when we reveal the biggest secret Mbappe kept for years. Let's start with the World Cup incident Mbappe didn't want the world to know. Unfortunately for him, someone was filming it and it got out. Kylian runs the show at PSG. For France, he's the golden boy. He's the biggest icon since Zidane and Henry. He can do no wrong, right? Actually, Mbappe still gets chewed out by his manager when the boss demands more. Even France's best player gets a dressing down like everybody else. There will be managers who fear antagonizing Mbappe at PSG. For France, Deschamps demands a clear hierarchy, and Mbappe definitely took the criticism on board. He scored 8 goals in 7 games at the Qatar World Cup. Booyah! For many players and fans, there is a divide. You're either Team Messi or Team Ronaldo. Who is the GOAT? Both men have been icons for so many youngsters for nearly 20 years in the beautiful game. Right now, though, Messi is a teammate of Mbappe at PSG, but Mbappe has a guilty secret he probably doesn't want Messi to know. He idolized Cristiano Ronaldo. When this gets out, training will be awkward. Mbappe was definitely Team Ronnie. He had Ronaldo pictures all over his bedroom. Ronaldo's first few years at Real Madrid, he played on the left, running at pace and terrorizing defenders. Mbappe plays that way too, and if he's more similar to one of the GOATs, it's probably Ronaldo over Messi. Still, we're sure Kylian respects Messi, and speaking of the legendary Argentinian, before becoming teammates at PSG, they were rivals in Europe. Mbappe is still young and will surely get to a stage when he's regularly competing for the Ballon d'Or. When Messi was at Barca, the young Mbappe had the Argentine set as a benchmark. Mbappe wanted to outdo Messi wherever possible, but especially with goals scored. Messi, on the other hand, was more focused on his own game. As Mbappe put it, I would go and score 2 goals in a game, then Messi would score 3. I'd score 3, and then he'd score 4. When Messi first moved to PSG, he found the transition tough, and Mbappe was able to overtake the Argentine. But now, there's no rivalry, and Messi has developed a good understanding with Mbappe. Mbappe has a certain image. He is Mr. PSG. He's a powerful guy, but he wouldn't want to seem unreasonable, and he'd prefer any training ground problems to remain private. This is football though, and these things get out. One incident involved one of Morocco's World Cup superstars, Achraf Hakimi. He had an argument and tussle with Argentina's Leandro Paredes. Mbappe intervened, but that's not the end of it. Paredes left in the summer window, joining Juventus on loan, and admitted he had a difficult relationship with Mbappe. Kylian is good friends with Hakimi, who is still a regular at PSG. Mbappe will claim he's in the right and Paredes just didn't cut it at PSG. Paredes questioned Hakimi's ability, but the Moroccan star is rated as one of the best right-backs in world football. Still, that World Cup final reunion must have been cringe. Before Mbappe signed his huge new deal with PSG last summer, there was a lot of talk about him moving on. When you're a player as renowned as him, your options are limited to the biggest and richest clubs in the world. Mbappe seemed open and actively pushing for a move to Real Madrid. PSG dominates their division. They expect to win the league every year given the money they're spent on the likes of Neymar and Messi. In Europe, they seem to crumble over pressure. They're not used to playing top-tier teams regularly. Mbappe has raised himself to greatness at PSG. He has ambitions to win the Champions League and be in a division with a more consistent challenge. If he gets a move to Real Madrid further down the line, he's already solved any potential language problems. He's also got clauses meaning he's only tied up for the first 2 years of the deal. Then it could be bon voyage. Speaking of potential moves, let's look at one surprise move which didn't quite come off. As a fresh-faced 12-year-old looking for a big break, Mbappe was close to joining Chelsea. It's no surprise he'd want to keep that a secret. I mean, who wants the world to know they considered joining Chelsea? Guys, come on, that was a joke. Yes, Mbappe could have joined Chelsea and risen through the ranks. He could have been playing in an era where Chelsea won a title or when they won the Champions League under Thomas Tuchel. In the end, he was rejected by Chelsea after a trial. Whoever the scout was at the time should probably run away in shame. Talk about the one that got away. He moved moved to Monaco's youth team, broke into their side a few years after, and the rest is history. What about Mbappe's childhood secrets? How much of his physical ability is down to hard work, and how much is down to genetics? Well, as it turns out, Mbappe's parents both had impressive sporting backgrounds. He was born to be a superstar athlete. Mbappe's father was a respected football coach, and his mother played handball. And what about school? Mbappé has proven himself a good student in his adult years with his ability to learn a whole new language. Back in his younger days, it was a different story though. Mbappé wasn't a bad student, he was just described as unruly. Maybe he had his mind on other things like football and another passion. As a matter of fact, when Kylian isn't training hard or keeping his sprinting power in tune, he has a hobby that he may not want the world to know. Yes, Kylian is an avid gamer. He likes to log on and spend hours playing FIFA. Ironically, Kylian was recently made the game's cover model. Do you think he gets a discounted copy of the game? It makes you wonder just how good he is at the game and whether he likes to play as himself. The next time you're playing an online FIFA match, just remember you could be playing Kylian Mbappé. Let's look at another secret that Kylian Mbappé doesn't want fans to know. When Mbappé was breaking into the PSG side after his Monaco move, he initially had some difficulties with some of the more senior players. Kylian's folks weren't happy with how some of the teammates treated him and felt he was being picked on. Things turned around quickly though. Mbappe's relationship with Neymar also improved. Those two players get on very well now and have even become notorious online for their practical jokes on each other. Mbappé settled into the side and was able to give as good as he got. He's been scoring goals since he came to PSG, so he has had no worries on the pitch. Speaking of Mbappé and PSG, let's take a look at one of the biggest secrets he's had since joining the side. After moving from Monaco and quickly establishing himself, Mbappé very quickly became their star player. With his deal running down though, the club wanted him to sign on longer terms once more. Mbappé was already winning domestic trophies with PSG, but wasn't getting close to Champions League glory. It seemed almost nailed on that he would leave for Real Madrid. In fact, some people thought Messi had been brought because Mbappé was on his way out. The PSG board had to do something drastic to turn Mbappé back to them. If you're one of the richest clubs in the world, what can you do? Firstly, throw a massive amount of money at the player, then offer sweet additional terms. Mbappé had a list of demands, most of which the club allowed. This included a say on transfers, managerial appointments, and more. Is Mbappé bigger than the managers? His teammates? He has a lot of power, and we probably only know the half of what he negotiated. So yeah, apparently Mbappé does have some dirty secrets. But what about the GOAT of football, Messi? What if I told you that Messi has some guilty secrets he's held since childhood? Yeah, I know you want to hear more about that. Just click this video right here.